Have you ever just wanted to be that person at the social events, parties, or gatherings or meetings that always know how to crack people up, make the best jokes, and just super funny in general? If so, here are 7 steps to improve your humor. In this video, we'll be talking about ways you can be more funny and 7 easy steps to improve your humor. You're probably wondering, why is humor important? Why do I need to know this? Well, learning how to be funny is an essential people skill. Some people are just naturally amusing, while others may need a little help. And most people don't realize this, but you can learn how to be funny. Here are 7 easy steps to improve your humor. The first step, the easiest way to get a few laughs, even if you're not funny, is to give the opposite answers to yes or no questions or answers. This is because when someone expects you to say something and you say the opposite, certain points it can be kind of funny. Here's an example of Jennifer Lawrence doing the exact same thing.
This has been really just a couple of years for you that this has been this kind of attention, right?
Yeah, hasn't been very long.
Yeah. And are you used to it?
Totally. No.
The second step to being a more funnier person is to play with numbers. Be surprising. Numbers are your friends when it comes to telling jokes. For example, here, Sofia Vergara is talking to Ellen DeGeneres about a party she went to. Sofia starts off by saying, "Oh, well, it wasn't that big, only about 100 people." This gets a lot of laughter from the crowd. Sofia did 2 things. A, she prepped by saying it wasn't that big, and B, she said it was only. She prepped this up, hinting that it was a small number, but instead she comes up with a much larger number, which gets a lot of laughter from the crowd. 3. Use the rule of 3. At a basic level, rule of 3 establishes a pattern which you need to break away from. Think about it this way. 1 normal, 2 normal, 3 odd, funny, or different. Here are a few examples of what that may look like. Here you could see, I love hot dogs, hamburgers, and hungry people. The third part, hungry people, is what makes it really funny. I'm so thrilled, happy, and terrified to be here. I want to teach you how to influence, intrigue, and other things that start with I. 4. Use a character switch. When we tell a story, there are usually multiple characters. When you think you know the rules of the characters, but then a switch occurs, you think it's hilarious. Watch this quick example of what it could look like.
Buy a house together.
Yeah, we want
Oh, you want to live together?
I think she wants to put me like in the guest house or something. I'm sure she's gonna try to get away with getting like the good part of the house.
Your English has gotten better, I have to say.
Your English?
I'm understanding you.
Use whatever as your secret weapon. It's natural to feel embarrassed when you're in the spotlight of other people's jokes. However, you can turn this around and not ruin the atmosphere around you. This is a really cool tactic that you can use when you feel embarrassed or slightly uncomfortable. Here is a quick example of Sofia Vergara doing this. She was questioned about how much weight she gained on her trip to Europe. And of course, this is a really embarrassing question for her. And she just shrugs it off. But the show host and Gordon Ramsay keep bugging her about it. So she just uses whatever. And everyone starts laughing. And it makes them seem like the ridiculous people for trying to make jokes about you. Next, use real life stories, not jokes. There's a true beauty in using personal experiences as jokes, and not only are they interesting, but they're guaranteed original and unique. No one else is going to think about it. And it's pretty funny when your personal experience makes other people laugh.
And there's a lot of change going on in the world right now. Sometimes my kids remind me of that, about how fast the world is changing. I have a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old daughter, and a few months ago, the 9-year-old said, "Dad, today at school, the internet was down. We had to do everything old-fashioned." And I said, "Old-fashioned? What does that mean?" And she said, well, we were supposed to draw the state flag of Tennessee, but we couldn't Google it up. So we had to walk to the library and look it up in a book. And I said, with your legs?
Delay the funny. So many people make the mistake of saying the punchline too early. Phrase your sentence so you're not still talking when the audience is supposed to be laughing. For example, if the joke or the punchline is that there's a cat in a box, don't say there was a cat in the box. Say, and in that box was a cat. See how I phrased it so cat was at the very end? So when people start laughing, I'll be done talking.
Then there's my favorite example. The Interior Department is in charge of salmon while they're in freshwater, but the Commerce Department handles them when they're in saltwater. I hear it gets even more complicated once they're smoked. Now,
finally, I just want you to keep in mind that most importantly, be yourself. Follow your own passion, your own path. Don't go out of your way to be someone you're not just to make people laugh. Be yourself and use these tips to enhance your own personality. Thank you. I hope you loved the video. For more videos like this, like, share, and subscribe to the Success Bistro.